I'm going to share my top mistakes that I made when I first started my Instagram account. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to share something for anyone who's really serious about building their Instagram account. I'm going to share a few things that I think will be really helpful to you. Anyway, the first mistake that I made. Now, at the very beginning, I asked people for shoutouts, and I still see a lot of people today begging for shoutouts. Now, this is wrong for two reasons. Number one, it's likely that the person that you're asking for a shoutout, that you kind of respect them or you look up to them. And, begging for shoutouts and things like that is not really a great way to build a relationship with this person. If you want them to share your content, you're better off maybe sharing some of their content or, getting to know them a bit more before you start asking them to give you something in return. The second reason why this isn't a great idea is actually that there's not a huge amount of value in shoutouts. So there's two mistakes here. One, don't go asking and begging for shoutouts. And number two, don't really think that there's really much value in those shoutouts. Again, put your time into your content. Now, the second mistake that I made is that I was chasing followers that were not going to be interested in my content long term. Now, it's quite possible that actually just having a big number is what you need, and therefore chasing as many followers as you can is absolutely fine. But if what you're going to do on the platform actually requires quite a lot of engagement, then filling up your list of followers with people who are not interested in your content is not going to work so well. The way that Instagram works, in short, is just that when you put out content, it will see what your followers think of that, and if your followers like it, it will then push it on to the people in the hashtags that you've used. So when you're chasing followers today in 2021, I would recommend doing it slowly and thoroughly and building a relationship and a connection with those people as they join you as followers. So the next point, and there are a few nuances here because this is promoting your posts, paying to have your posts show up in the feed or people's feed who don't follow you. Now, this, in the most part, is a waste of time and a waste of money. But if you run a business and you sell products, I would highly recommend promoting your posts because you can track the amount that you have invested in that promotion and you can track the amount of sales that you've got and see what your return is on that investment. Now, the thing is, that's not how most people use promoted posts. Most people will just have a post, Instagram will say, hey, this post did well, why don't you give us some money and we'll show it to more people. So in short, do not bother promoting your posts unless you are selling products. It's a mechanism designed for advertising and selling products, and it doesn't really work for normal posts. With one exception, okay, and this is just my opinion. I made a video on this. I found a way to get the most out of promoted posts. Rather than putting, say £30 on a post over a few days, I found a way of just putting £1 a day over 30 days, and you get a trickle of engagement. That means that you can respond to those comments that come in quite quickly. Anyone who's liking your post, you can go to their page, and that kind of reciprocation of engagement does work and it does gain followers. I'll leave a link in the description to that video if you want to see more about that. Now, the next mistake that I made is I actually really overthought my grid and how it looks visually. This really applies to photographers, artists, other visual creatives where the grid and the way it looks really matters to you. Like, it's great that it matters, it's great to have pride in something that you're creating, but this prevented me from posting a lot. And when I scroll back through my grid, I don't actually think it looks that good anyway. And at the time I was like, yeah, I've got to post this one here and then I'm going to put that one there. It doesn't look that great anyway. I'm posting really randomly right now and I actually think it looks better these days. So I do not worry too much about it. Obviously take pride in what you're doing, and if it matters to you, it matters, so that's fair. But don't overthink it. Don't let it prevent you from posting, because every time you post, it's an opportunity to communicate with your followers, and communicating with your followers is the best way of reaching those people and starting to build a community around what you're doing. So in short, the big mistake that I made was I overthought and stressed about the look of my grid to the point where I stopped using the platform. Weird. Number 6, focusing on vanity metrics and not conversations. I'm going to kind of use an analogy to kind of explain this, okay? Let's say that you are sat in a supermarket and your job is to give out free samples. In the first case, you are sat there on your phone staring at it as people come up and take away those free samples, and at the end of the day, you counted that they all left, brilliant, cool, I got rid of all the samples, job done. Now, that doesn't do very much good for your brand at all, does it? You know, you don't know what those people thought, you don't know whether you did a good job or not. Now let's take the second case. Every single person that comes up for a sample, you talk to them and you say, hey, did you enjoy it? What do you think? You got a bit of feedback from them. And also, not only that, but the people that weren't going to come up to your stand, you actually invite them up and say, hey, do you want to try one of our free samples? It's this, and this is where we made it, and this is, you know, this is our product. You get to know them, and then you get them to understand your brand. And all of those products are gone at the end of the day. You know, you got the same outcome, but the communication and the kind of message you delivered about your brand and the product that you're giving samples from is completely different, okay? So to summarize that, I was considering a high engagement rate and high metrics as a win, rather than the depth of the conversations that I was having with people. When you get the opportunity to have a deep conversation with someone, or whether you can build the connection of what it is that you're doing, take that opportunity and consider that the win, not necessarily, you know, getting record likes on a post, because it really does mean nothing. It's a good thing, you know, it's good to feel good about it. But in terms of your long-term relationship and growth of your community, your followers, and everything that you're building, those likes really don't matter in the long term. So the next mistake I made was really managing my own expectation. I expected Instagram to do my work for me. What I mean by that is I expected to be able to create good content, post it, for my followers to like it, and then Instagram would show it to a whole load of new people, and those people would automatically be compelled to hit the follow button. But I'm afraid, unfortunately, that is not how it works. The problem is when they see your post, they don't have any context, they don't know who you are, they don't know any of the things that you do, they just see your post. Now, a very small percentage of those people will click through to your profile, but even then, they don't have a chance to get to know you. So I started finding other ways that I could connect with people. I would go into the hashtags, I'd find posts that I liked, I would talk to people, those sorts of things. But I quickly realized that I was spending a lot of time doing something which was really not giving me much return. So I started using websites outside of Instagram, things like Facebook groups where I could, you know, create more of a connection, places like Reddit where you can have conversations with people. And I also started talking about my Instagram on this YouTube channel. For example, if I point down here and show you my Instagram link, because we've already had this exchange and you've already feel like you probably got to know me more than you would if you just looked at one of my photos, you're probably more compelled to go and take a look at that Instagram page. You're probably more compelled to follow. And also when you see my other posts, you will have more of an idea of where that photography came from because you've already watched, I don't know, where are we, like 6-7 minutes of video by now. So you probably get an idea of who I am, at least more than you would if you just saw a photo. You want to use every outlet that you can to talk about your business, your personality, your brand, whatever it is, your art, anything, whatever it is that you want to build, use everything that you have at your disposal to build them all. And do not expect Instagram to do that for you. Now, I spoke at the beginning about anyone who really wants to build that Instagram account. I decided to bring back a series I started at the very beginning of this channel. I wanted to help people with their Instagram accounts on this page. So the idea is that you can submit your Instagram account to me. I will go through it on camera. It will act as a bit of a shout out, and I'll talk about some of the things that you're doing right, some of the things that you're doing wrong, and some of the ways that you can optimize. So if you want me to go through your Instagram account on this channel so I can help you, help others, hit the link in the description and it will take you to a form where you just put in your email address and give me your Instagram handle and also anything that you kind of want to specifically work on. And I will do that on camera. I can't do them all, so I'm not guaranteeing by submitting that you're going to be able to be part of it. I will try and get through them. We'll just have to see how many there were. I remember the first time I did this at 2,000 subscribers, I got a lot of responses. So we'll have to see how it goes. And for anyone who actually just wants to have a call and just talk to me one-to-one, there is that option as well. And it's all through the same link in the description. So as always, I really hope that this was useful. If it was, make sure you hit the like button. Come and say hi in the comments. I love having conversations down there. And if you want to see more videos in the future, hit the subscribe button. And if you do, I will see you in the next video. Thanks very much.